Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. When you think about aviation watches, a few names probably come to mind. Breitling, Rolex, maybe even Porsche design. They're iconic, built for adventurers and aviators alike. But would you believe me if I told you that the first ever pilot's watch wasn't from any of these brands? Instead, it came from Cartier. Yes, Cartier. The Santos-Dumont, created for a Brazilian daredevil soaring over the skies of Paris, was the world's very first pilot's watch. Today, we're diving into this incredible story. Let's get started. In the early 1900s, aviation was still a wild frontier. Pioneers like the Wright brothers were pushing the boundaries of what was possible in the sky. But over in Europe, one man was making a name for himself as one of aviation's most daring figures, Alberto Santos-Dumont. Born in Brazil, Santos-Dumont had relocated to Paris and quickly became a celebrity, flying hot air balloons and early airplanes high above the Parisian skyline. But, like all pioneers, Santos-Dumont faced practical challenges. One of the biggest, timekeeping. Flying wasn't just about skill. You needed to track time for fuel, distance, and safety. And back then, men weren't wearing wristwatches. They carried pocket watches, which were impractical to use mid-flight. This problem set the stage for one of the greatest innovations in horology and aviation history. Imagine trying to pull out a pocket watch while flying an early airplane. It's not exactly the safest or easiest task. Santos-Dumont realized he needed something that could keep his hands free while still allowing him to monitor time during his flights. Enter Louis Cartier, a close friend of Santos-Dumont and a rising star in the world of jewelry and watchmaking. Santos-Dumont asked Cartier for a practical solution, and in 1904, Cartier designed a wristwatch specifically for him. This wasn't just a standard timepiece, it was created with aviation in mind. It was sturdy, easy to read, and designed to be worn on the wrist, allowing Santos-Dumont to keep his hands on the controls. Thus, the Cartier Santos-Dumont was born, marking the beginning of what we now know as the pilot's watch. Its design was revolutionary for the time. The square case was bold and different from the usual round watches, the dial was clear and easy to read, and the leather strap made it practical for everyday use, especially in the air. This simple innovation changed the game, not just for aviation, but for men's fashion too. Before this, wristwatches were considered a women's accessory, but the Santos-Dumont quickly broke that stereotype. Pilots now had a reliable tool they could wear, and it set the stage for the era of modern wristwatches. The Santos-Dumont didn't just solve a practical problem, it became a style icon. Its square bezel, Roman numerals, and exposed screws gave it a unique aesthetic, blending functionality with elegance. Even over a century later, Cartier continues to produce versions of the Santos watch, each one a tribute to the original design. But what makes it truly stand out is its connection to aviation history. The Santos-Dumont isn't just a luxury watch, it's a reminder of the daring early days of flight, when men like Santos-Dumont were pushing the limits of what was possible. Alberto Santos-Dumont's contributions to aviation are significant. He became the first person to publicly fly a powered aircraft in Europe, and his name is still celebrated in aviation circles today. But his legacy isn't limited to the skies. Thanks to his friendship with Louis Cartier, Santos-Dumont forever changed the way we think about timekeeping and wristwatches. The Cartier Santos-Dumont became the world's first pilot's watch, inspiring countless future designs from brands like Breitling, Rolex, and many others. So, next time you look at a pilot's watch, remember where it all started. Not with Breitling, not with Rolex, but with a Brazilian aviator and a Parisian jeweler who saw an opportunity to create something truly timeless. The Cartier Santos-Dumont was more than just a watch. It was a symbol of innovation, aviation, and style. If you enjoyed this dive into the history of the first pilot's watch, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more aviation stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.